Hello guys, welcome back. Today we are going to understand the Leetcode question that we have on Friday 12th May 2023, right? So let's understand what the question is. So the question was 2140 and today is Saturday. I'm going to create this video. Okay, so let's understand solving the question with Brainpower. So you have given zero index, you can say 2D array. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so you have given zero index 2D array, right? And question we have given, and question at I equal to points at I and Brainpower at I. Okay, so the array describe the question of an exam where you have to proceed the question in an order starting from question 0 and make a decision whether to skip a question. Solving question I will earn a point, and if you're not unable to solve the question, then you will have to go to the next Brainpower questions, right? So if you skip the question I, so you will get to make a decision of the next question. It will look like this one. Okay, so I'll summarize this one, don't worry. So for the question, for any example, we have given the list of questions into array, and the first it is points, and this is your, you can say, question, right? So how many questions you have to solve, right? So if question 0 is solved, right, let's suppose this is at 0, this is at 1 2 3, it is saying that. So if question 0 is solved, you will earn 3 points that I was talking about, 3 points. Okay, and but if you unable to solve the questions, right, then you have to skip 2 questions, right? That is this one and this is 2, right? These 2 questions you have to skip. Okay, and then you have to solve this one. Okay, then you have to solve this one. So you are going to solve only these 2, right? So you what are the points we have? 3 plus 2. 3 is coming from 0 and this is coming from here, right? So it will become 5. So the answer will be 5. Okay, so instead of question 0, let's suppose if someone is going to skip the question 0, then he will attempt what? Question 4, question 1, that is he will get the point 4, right? So once he will he is unable to solve 0 index, right? So he have to solve index 1, right? So he will earn the point, right? Like this only. Okay, so once if he will solve question 1, he will get on point 4, and to solve this problem, right, he has to solve the question 2 and 3, but he is unable to do that, right? Because here is how many things we have? 3. So he will skip this to us, right? So in that case, what we have to do, we have to return the maximum points, right? And for this exam to qualify or earn, you can say. Okay, so you have to return maximum points, right? So let's understand this one again. This is the example we have given. So what it is saying that this is at 0 1 2 and 3. Okay, these are the indexes of the question. So if user is going to solve this question, okay, so how many at index what we have? We have 3 and another is 2, right? So this is the point, and this is its number of questions, so he can skip, right? So what he is doing, the maximum point he can earn by solving the question 0 or 3, right? He can do, correct, either 0 or 3. Only these 2 he can do, because there is 2, he has to skip 2 questions route, because if he is unable to do, right? So the maximum point he can earn is at 0 and 3 only. So at 0 point is 3, at 3 he has 2, so total is what? 5. So that's why he is getting the output 5, right? So because question 1 and 2 we have already skipped, and because he is unable to solve, right? So he has to skip these two questions, right? So this is the way he can do solving, right? So let's continue another question, right? So this is the example 2 we have, right? So here questions we have given at 0 1 2 3 4, total 5 questions we have given, right? So if somebody is going to, we have to find the maximum point, right? How we can find the maximum point? So let's suppose if someone is going to find the maximum point at what? This is 1, right? So we will skip this one and we'll go into here, right? At what? At 1. And if he will find he's got the 2 point, but he has to skip 2, right? So from here he will not solve this one, and he will not solve this one, but he will solve this one, because there are 2 questions he have to skip, right? So now he has to do what? He will consider this one, right? So 2 plus 5, it becomes 7, right? So this is the highest point he can earn, maximum point he can earn by solving this question and skipping the questions, right? So he is skipping question 0, right, because it is smaller, right? And just for understanding, so he has skipped the question this one, he has not solved this one, right? And after solving this one, he has to skip, he is unable to skip, you can say, or skip 2 points at 2 or 3, and at line number 4, sorry, index number 4, he will get another one. So he got maximum 0.5, so he will add the previous one from here, and so he will get 7. Okay, so I think you got it right. So this is the constant we have given. So questions dot length we have given is greater than or equal to 1 and is less than or equal to 10 to the power 5. So questions dot 1 dot length equal to 2 and points is greater than or equal to 1. So this is the brain power less than or equal to 10 to the power 5. Okay, so as per the question, it is given the constant. Okay, so I'm going to solve this by dynamic programming, right? The iterative way, you can say. You can use recursive way also. So if you already understand recursive and iterative way, right? So I'll suggest you directly skip the explanation part, and you can directly see our coding part. Okay, so if you are interested to understand again, so let's continue. So what we have given, first we have given this example, let's suppose in here. Okay, so if there is this is the array we have given, so these are points. Okay, as this is pointed out as these are the points, right? We, after solving this, we will get. Okay, and these are the questions, right? So all these are nothing but our questions, right? As you know, so questions contains number of element, total 4 element we have here, as you can see, and each element contains points and brain power, right? Points and brain power combination, it is a pair of two things, points and brain power, correct? So what we will do for index 0, let's suppose for index 0, if we are going to solve this question, right? So after solving this, how many points we will get? We will get 3 points. But how many questions we have to solve, right? As you can see, we will not solve these 2, because we have got what? Brain's power is 2, right? So if brain's power is given 2, it means we have to skip these 2, right? Then we will reach to here, and we will do solution of this one, right? So as you can see in the representation, right, we have got 3 as a earn point, and we have skipped 2 questions, right? So we are not going to solve these 2, right? We will reach directly to here. Okay, so we'll get 2 points, right? And we are going to skip 5 questions. Further, we don't have the element. If there are 5 more element will be there, so next 6th element we have to consider for the solving, right? Like this. Okay, if not, we can skip. So let's understand the dynamic programming, right? So then dynamic programming, all understand, we have talked about a lot of things, right, already. So for, let's suppose we are talking about like this is the combination, right? And this is nothing but our questions, right? Like this. So the questions contains what? 2 things. The first is points, and other is brain's power, right? So if like we are going to understand like how to solve and how to escape, right? To solve the problem, you can start from anywhere. Okay, it's your choice, but you have to find the maximum point. So what you have to understand, we will see we have to focus on carrying the max point, right? And to take that, you have to understand the brain power also, right? So let's suppose we are going to solve the question of any index. Let's suppose any index. So let's suppose he is going to choose this one. Okay, so either he will solve it, or either he will solve this, or he will earn the point, and either he will skip these questions and he will move to the next, right? So there is 2 options only we have for any questions. Either we will skip, or either we will solve, right? Only these things we can do, right? So both choices affect the options on the remaining questions. So the distinctive feature that implies that we can use dynamic programming. So let's understand, if there is n number of questions, right, that defines DP. Okay, so let's suppose we have created one DP array, just for understanding. Okay, if we have DP array, okay, or if you will take single DP array, let's suppose this one. So this contain all the elements that contains maximum points, right? So only 2 choices we have, right? Then we will understand what what we have to do, right? So first of all, what we are going to do, first we will define array, and that is called dp, and dp at I, we will store the maximum point that we can get from the proceeding questions that we are going to solve, right? In the suffix array, let's suppose questions that we have, that is our array. So each element, right, if this is I, so I minus n minus 1 will become its you can say sub array, right? So if this is an array, complete, this is an array, this is nothing but our question, so this is nothing but our what, this is our questions. If this is question of n element or n minus 1 element, as you can see here, so if we are going to take this sub array, this will become what, questions at what, n minus I minus n minus 1, this will become element, right? So dp stands for the maximum point that we can get by proceeding the questions in the range I to n minus 1. If there is any element, let's suppose this is at I, right? So from here to here we can say that, right? This is his boundary, this is this range, right? So dpx maximum point we have to find, and then we will calculate, right? So however, we will try to do what, we will do backward things, and we will try to fill the dp in backward forms, right? And what we will do, what is the value of the dp, that we will recall from the two options that we have for the questions of I, or we can either solve it, or we'll skip it, right? So what we will do, how do we update the dp of I, as you can see here. So for example, for a question of question at I, we can either solve it, or we can earn it, right? Or we can skip it. These are the things we can do, right? So what we have to do, let's suppose notice that the feature of dp, that dp is greater than what, greater than equal to dp of I plus 1. So in this case it means what, I is always less than n minus 1, right? So this is the reason that dp at I is the optimal point that we can get from I similar to, you can say, n minus 1, right? Either I or n minus 1. So if dp of I plus 1, if this is the optimal point, then we can get from what, either I plus 1 to n minus 1, right? So this is the range, you can say this is nothing but our range from I to n minus 1, or I plus 1 to n minus 1, right? Which is the optimal point, right? So for which like which has less questions that the previous one, right? If this is the less questions, that we can use, right? So in the short, if we want to understand, so dp of I includes what, nothing but the question of range from dp of I plus 1. So we can always solve, we can always you can say have at least same point of the dp I plus 1 for dp of I. So this is little tricky thing, so you have to just focus on understanding how it is going on. Means we are going from, if dp of I is greater than I plus 1, dp of I is greater than dp of I plus 1, right? So in that case, this is nothing but we have two things we can get from the optimal solutions. Either we'll go from what, I to, the range will be n minus 1, other with what, the range will become what, I plus 1 to n minus 1. This is the possibility, right? So for all the problems, right, from I to n minus 1 problems, this will be his range. If there is, we are talking about I plus 1 to n minus 1, this will be his range that we are talking about, right? So this way we will do what, dp is decreasing or not decreasing. If it is non-decreasing, it means what, dp at I is always greater than or equal to what, dp of I plus 1. If this is the case, means we are going to find the maximum dp at max point, that will come from what, either I or I plus 1, right? So you have to understand the range as well as which problem we are going to select, right? That we have to that we will come into the max point of the dp. I think you got it, right? Now what we will understand, now we can update each cell, you can say dp at I. If we solve this problem, it means that we have to skip the question at any index, right? So for the score of I, which will come, that is nothing but from what, point of I, that is score of I is the point, right? And if the maximum score we can get from what, the range I plus skip of I plus I minus skip plus I plus 1 and to the n. So this is the thing, from here to here we will go, right? This range 1 plus, you can, if you write like this, so it will become what, skip at I plus 1, this is the range, right, from here to here, and what, to n. So this will be the range. So maximum score we can get in this is the range, right? So what we have to do, since we have to skip at least skip at I, right? So what we have to do, you may wonder why we use what, this one, I plus skip of I plus 1. If we don't necessarily have to solve this question, right, so we will take I plus skip plus 1, right, like this we will do. So always focus like I plus skip of I plus 1, this is the range to n, right? So we have to understand why we are using this and what we have to actually skip, right? That we will see. So maximum point only we can get from what, here, the point at what we have, and the dp at I plus 1, and this. So whatever will come, that will become its maximum point, right? Always keep focus on understanding this part. Points at I plus dp of I plus skip at I plus 1, right? So what you will understand here, we have, if you are going to solve the, right, to solve this we must skip at least one question, right, the skip at I, right? So to skip at I, what we have to do, we will get the some point, we will have point at I, then we are going to skip some questions, right, skip at I, and the position, dp position will be at what location, I plus skip at I and plus 1, as we understand, right? So this will give you the max point, that, so max point we will find only at this position. So this will be this will be the range where you will get the answer. I think you got it. This is just similar to that question that we are talking about, right? So this is the representation in which we can see how it is working. Okay, so let's understand, if we have I equal to 0 in this case, means we are talking about this one, right? So if we solve it, we can get the points at what, 0 is nothing but what, 1, this is the 1, and if we will do plus at what, dp at 3, what we will get, I plus 3, right, I plus 3. So what is the value, the value is coming is 1 plus 5, and this is nothing but what, 7. So if we skip it, we can get what, I plus 1 is 7. Okay, now we will fill backward, right, we will fill backward. So once we will fill backward, all the value become what, 0 0 0, but this value will become what, 5. So if I equal to 4, right, so solving this problem we will get what, point at 4 is nothing but what, 5, as you can see. So we will skip it, and we can't do any other problem because all are, we have to skip, because 5 element we have here, so we have to skip this one, right? So in this way you will get the max point. I think got it. Okay, or if we have a element I equal to 3, let's, we are talking about I equal to 3, so at I equal to 3 we will got what, 4. Okay, so if I the points is what, 4 we have, right, but we have to skip what, how many questions, 4 questions. So let's next 4 question we have to skip. So I plus 1 is nothing but 5 now, right? Next what we will do, we'll do a skipping from what, I equal to 2 now, because we are filling backward, right, we are going backward here. So now first we have 4 3 2, now we will again what we will see, 5. Why we will get I plus 1 is 5, because I pointed to do what, nothing but 3, which is less than this, previously it was less, right? So it will become like this. We will see the point at the, here is 2, so again I plus 1 is 5, right? So a previous point is nothing but what, 2, so we will do 2 plus 5 is 7, and finally we will reach I equal to 0. In this, at 1 what we have, point 1 we have, what we have captured the point, 7. Now this what we have, previous point which I plus 1 is 7, and previous is what, I 1 plus 5, because I plus 3 is what, 5 we have, and here point what we have, 1 at 0, so we will get what, 1 plus 5, it is equal to 6. Now we can get dp at I plus 1 is nothing but our 7, correct? So in this way we will do doing, right, we will go backward iteration we will do. Okay, so we have to initialize a dp of size n, and what we will do, so dp at n minus 1 is become what, question at n minus 1 at 0, the, you can say, last value we are going to start, right? So we will iterate in the backward direction from I to n minus 2, right? So either we will skip, if we skip the question I, we have dp at I is nothing but I plus 1, So if we'll solve this one, so now our value dp at I is nothing but what, questions of I 0 dp of I plus 1 plus question that we are going to take n plus 1 that we have seen, right? You can say either escape or you can set we are going to solve. Okay, so dp at I is the larger one now we will get, and we have to return dp at 0 after finishing all the iteration, right? So let's understand how we are going to take. So this is the array of questions we have given, right, in the 2D, in which we have brain's power and its points, right? So we will get the length, we will create one dp, and dp at n minus 1 is nothing but questions at n minus 1 and then 0, right? So we will get our dp n minus 1 last value of the dp we'll get from here only. Now we will start from n minus 2, we'll go to 0, like backward direction, we have to go backward direction, right? That will go. So from dp of I minus 0 we'll get dp at I, we will get dp at I 0 each time we'll get, and we will take one skip, we'll get a skip at what, I and 1, and we have to do what, I plus a skip plus 1 if it is less than n, then we will find our dp. How we'll get the dp at I skip plus 1, right? We will each time we will update our dp at I so that it will get maximized. So to maximize, what we have to do, each time we have to take dp and dp of I plus 1, which one is max after solving this, means we are going, this is our solve questions, right? And this is our skip questions, right? So which one is max, that will come on into the dp at I, and finally we'll return dp at I. Okay, so in this question we are going to understand what we have to understand. So dp we are using, so if we have n length of the questions, means we have time complexity of n, and we are storing all the element into this dp right here. So what will happen, time complexity is space complexity is also O of n. So O of n is the time complexity. Okay, sorry, like this. Okay, because we have taken this one, so space and time complexity both are O of n. So thank you guys, thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please hit subscribe this channel so that you will get more videos like this. Thank you guys, thank you for watching.